It's Friday, December 2nd. Good afternoon. I'm Colin Thomas, and this is CTV News at noon. City of Prince Albert says repairs to the Diefenbaker Bridge are on schedule, and that could mean we are back to 4 lanes by Christmas. Now, this berm road has passed inspections, and the jack to prop up the damaged section of the bridge can be built, so repairs can then be made. Now, work on the tower can start anytime and is expected to be completed by Saturday, December 10th. The jacking process will be ready to begin December 15th and 16th. The city hopes to cut out the damaged steel where the crack in the girder is located on December 16th. Now, then the city is giving itself a week to install a new piece of steel, and in theory, that would repair the bridge. But it's at that time when the real questions start, as testing to see what kind of loads the bridge can take are to start on the 22nd. It's those tests that will determine if the 2 southbound lanes can be reopened, and more importantly, whether the 15-ton weight restriction can be lifted. At this point, there is absolutely no guarantee of that happening. A new housing development in Prince Albert is taking advantage of the province's Head Start on a Home program. But as Ben Milger reports, there are some in this community who say more needs to be done to address the housing needs of people on social assistance.
With the turn of a shovel by Mayor Jim Scarrow, 63 housing units are now under construction in Prince Albert as part of the province's Head Start program to make owning a home more affordable.
What we try and do, though, is again just make it more attainable for everybody. So that alleviates what we're finding is that people that don't make enough or make too much can't afford don't qualify for affordable housing.
But some people in Prince Albert are more concerned with day-to-day survival, and for them, owning a condo is not an attainable goal.
I find it hard to eat sometimes because I'm constantly worrying about my baby's diapers and formula. I think they should pay attention to maybe getting building places with affordable rates, set rates that people like me can afford, because I only get $500 a month from welfare for a place, and as you can see, I have to settle for a place like that.
Well, pleased with the Head Start program, Brian Howell says it won't do much to alleviate the social housing crunch.
Our units are full, and certainly all of the social housing providers in Prince Albert will report that they are full. There's basically a 0 vacancy rate in affordable housing.
Prince Albert is a community with a diverse range of housing needs. And while the Head Start program will help some families transition from the rental market into their very own homes for the first time, it does not address the needs of people struggling to make ends meet month to month. And social housing advocates say those are the very people who need the most help now. Ben Milger, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Well, it's Give a Little Life Day here in Prince Albert in support of the Victoria Hospital operating rooms and anesthetic machines. Victoria Hospital says it urgently needs to replace and upgrade 4 anesthetic machines like these in the 4 operating rooms at the hospital. The machines, of course, are used to put you to sleep for your operation and monitor your vital signs. Newer machines will enhance patient safety during surgery. And the Prince Albert SPCA is bursting at the seams. The shelter is at capacity and is looking for people to adopt animals. Blair Farthing has more on efforts to find them a home just in time for the holidays.
With twice as many dogs and cats as there are kennels, the Prince Albert SPCA is at double capacity and can't take in any more until some of them find suitable homes. This SPCA is joining a worldwide campaign to adopt out 1.5 million dogs and cats this holiday season.
People start to think of a pet. The kids are out of school for their school break. Parents are taking holidays, and they have the time to spend with a pet right before Christmas and over Christmas.
That's good news for little guys like Marv, Lewis, and Molson, who will tell you themselves they're ready for a loving home this holiday season. Those interested in adoption should know that there are more than just puppies and kittens. There are many benefits to adopting an older pet, who may already have basic training.
It's great to adopt an adult dog too, because a lot of times people will say, oh, I don't know the history behind it. But you know, a lot of times if they're nice, it doesn't matter what kind of history they have, that's their personality.
And the SPCA isn't just for those looking to get new pets, it's also for those searching for lost ones.
It's just really important that people come and file a lost report if they've lost their pet. Because all of these pets here are owned by somebody, but nobody has come searching for them yet.
The SPCA is open every day, so anyone can stop in and get a new family member like Asia here. The perfect gift this holiday season for both the family and the animal who gets a loving home. Blair Farthing, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Meanwhile, the Prince Albert Real Estate Board paid a visit to the Prince Albert SPCA this morning. They were good enough to drop off a check for $500 to them along with some blankets. The SPCA relies on donations like this for its day-to-day operation and is also raising money for a new facility that's expected to be built in the next few years. It won't be cheap. The new Leash on Life building is expected to cost around $3.5 million. And a rare painting that has hung in Prince Albert City Council chambers for years is getting a facelift. The painting, believed to be painted by Italian artist Cyrus Cuneo, it's more than 100 years old and it has been hanging at City Hall in Prince Albert for decades. It was recently sent to the Mann Art Gallery to be cleaned and restored. The painting depicts Sir George Simpson on his tour from Hudson's Bay to the Pacific Coast. It was originally commissioned for the Canadian Pacific Railway. The director of the gallery says it's painstaking work to restore a picture of this size.
You know, you got to go centimeter by centimeter by centimeter, cleaning off the smoke or the dirt or anything with the, usually use chemicals of some sort, and you just clean it off. So, you know, you use tons and tons and tons of Q-tips and rags.
It was the New Democrats' turn at the legislature yesterday after Saskatchewan Party MLAs were sworn in on Wednesday. The 9 NDP MLAs took their oaths of office and found their seats in the Legislative Assembly. Well, it's going to be a much different session. The NDP lost 11 seats in the November provincial election, including former leader Dwayne Lingenfelter. John Nilsson was sworn in as the opposition leader yesterday.
We're all quite excited about how we can do this, but there's no question that when each of us have the critic roles for about 4 or 5 different areas, that we're going to have a number of challenges.
Well, before we go to break, tonight it's first versus the worst in Western Hockey League action. Sorry, Raider fans, the worst club in the WHL, at least in terms of fewest points, would be your Prince Albert Raiders with 14 points in 29 games. The league's best team in the standings are in town tonight. That would be the Kootenay Ice. They are 19-5-2 on the year, and they are also the defending WHL champs, making their only trip to PA tonight. Puck drops, as always, at the Art Hauser at 7 p.m. Welcome back. Of course, the Saskatchewan provincial election campaign kicked off earlier this week, and we have none other than the Premier of the province, Brad Wall, joining us here in studio in Prince Albert. Welcome to Prince Albert.
Thanks very much.
I know you're here to make an announcement to do with credits for people who are active in sports, young people. We'll get to that a little bit later.